everyone. 6:38, and Metro Sheriff Joe Lombardo joining us now for today's Morning Cup. But Joe, great to see you, Sheriff. Good morning.
Good morning, Alex. How are you?
Good. Hope you're doing well. A lot to get to here in this segment. We want to start with that officer-involved shooting from over the weekend. It was reported the officers were being shot at in that incident. Can you tell us a bit more about what happened and how those officers are doing?
Sure. I mean, obviously it's still under investigation, so I could give you some limited information. But we were called to the scene by the female person reporting. We call them PR. She was concerned for her significant other. He had been drinking a large amount of alcohol and making, aggressive statements. I would leave it at that. And upon our arrival, we were able to have the family members exit the residence, and they informed us he was in possession of some firearms, and he was out of control. I would use that term. So subsequently, we responded, and I'm very proud of our officers because the initial response was de-escalation. So we surrounded, attempted to make contact with the individual. And he, as you can see by the video, he came outside with a firearm, and he did fire upon the police officer on several occasions. And then subsequently, we returned one shot to the individual, and I understand he had a grazing wound from our shot. And eventually, we were able to talk him out of it. So he exited the residence to try to jump over a wall in the rear of the residence, and we took him into custody without further incident. So those are the type of things we deal with on a regular basis, and usually the public's not aware of that. Those kind of barricaded incidents are very common in our valley on a regular basis.
Yeah, and that's chilling video to watch, Sheriff. Another issue we've been talking about, it seems like for a few months now, a major spike in stolen cars, up about 30% from this time last year. Are you seeing this happening in a certain part of town?
Yeah, we are seeing it happen, and it's closer to, I think it's 28% in today's numbers. And it is not in particular to a certain part of town. So it's occurring throughout the town. So that's unfortunate for us because we can't put our thumb on it, in the short term versus the long term. But we are getting a handle on that. And I think the most important piece on this is public education and awareness. So the most common form of theft is people leaving their vehicle running and unattended, such as going into a convenience store to get a cup of coffee or whatever they may purchase, and then people take advantage of that. So the most important piece is to be aware of your surroundings, park in well-lit areas, do not leave your garage door openers or other valuable items within the vehicle, and do the best you can to make it harder for individuals to steal your vehicle. And the motivation behind it, we can theorize that till the cows come home, but the most important thing is people are going back to work, the availability of cars is lessening, and so people are looking for transportation to go to and from their daily lives. It's very difficult to put our arms around, but we are aware of it, we're addressing it, we're doing the best we can to prevent it.
Sheriff, Governor Sisolak signed 2 police reform bills into law yesterday. The first one allows the Attorney General's office to conduct pattern and practice investigations, and the piece of the other one limits no-knock warrants. What are your thoughts on those 2?
And I got to be frank with you. They're fantastic bills. We worked with the Attorney General on those bills, but they're sort of benign to LBMPD. And the reason why I say that is I'm not concerned about a pattern practice investigation within my own police department, but the need for the Attorney General to have that available to them is very important, so we can determine whether there are racist types of actions conducted by police departments, or there's individuals, or even if as a group, they have to be able to investigate that. And that bill gives them the authority to do that, and the cooperation is necessary between the police departments and the Attorney General. The other one was the no-knock warrant restrictions, and that's where you have a police agency or a group or a unit conduct a search warrant on a location, and they don't knock at the door to give warning to the residents or the occupants, and they eventually use force to gain entry. They basically adopted our policy, our existing policy, with some negotiation, and it is put into place, has to be absolutely necessary to enter a person's residents or with force without even due warning. We have that in place. We haven't had any incidents that required us to look at that in the recent history and long history. But I think it's important for people to know that that was a negotiation between the Attorney General and local law enforcement and be coming to a consensus and what would be better for the community and protection to the community to ensure we don't have an unnecessary death.
Governor, Sheriff, you spoke recently about a possible run for governor in 2022. You since confirmed that with a TV station in Reno earlier this week. Can you confirm that with us? And why are you running?
I can confirm that with you, but unfortunately, I got caught off a little off guard up there in Reno. But I got to be frank with the public, and I am running for governor. We plan on a formal announcement here in the next coming weeks, and I will display or provide my platform moving forward at that time.
We look forward to talking to you about that then, Sheriff. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Hope you have a great week.
Thank you, Alex.
If you have a question for the sheriff, you can send it to us on our website, 8newsnow.com, and find out if your question was answered every Wednesday during Morning Cup with Joe.